Together with my fellow trustees, I really want to thank all of you for being here with us this evening to celebrate and support this truly extraordinary organization that you've been hearing about. Darren Walker, the president of the Ford Foundation, was asked in a recent publication why his foundation supports Vera's work. And Darren's answer, I think, is very telling and appropriate for tonight. He said, "The question for us was, if Vera did not exist, would we have to invent it?" And the answer, Darren said, was clearly, yes, we would. Now, fortunately for Darren and all of us, Vera does indeed exist. And thanks to your absolutely off-the-charts generosity this evening, I am very confident it will continue to exist. And this is a very good thing, because Vera's continued existence and the continuation of the work that we do is more important than ever. At last year's gala, in front of a crowd just like this one, some of you, many of you were here, you may remember that I invoked Martin Luther King's famous quote about how the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Now, Nick Turner and I spent a lot of time together, so we both like quoting Dr. King, and we can't help ourselves. And I invited everyone then present to join Vera in putting our collective shoulders up against that sometimes stubborn arc and helping to push it toward justice. But in preparing for tonight's gala, I thought a lot about the events of the past year. And I have to confess that it feels to me as though our country has lost contact with that great arc of our moral history. Watching the current administration's shameful coddling of barbarism in Charlottesville, Virginia, its callous indifference to mass shootings, its cold-hearted stance toward immigration, its studied ignorance of the science of climate change, and I'm really just citing a small handful of what would be a very long list, makes me feel that we may well have lost sight of that moral arc that I have always believed our country has sought, sometimes in fits and starts, but always sincerely sought to progress along. And I suspect that many of you here tonight feel the same way. Indeed, I hope that is part of the reason you are here with me tonight. As a result of that, the kind of expert, evidence-based, dispassionate, and deeply thoughtful work, research, and innovation that Vera pursues remains absolutely vital and profoundly important. With your help, Vera needs, and I think our country needs Vera to continue to combat our country's tragic heritage of racism, to make our criminal justice system more effective and more fair, to ensure that rights are honored, even the rights of those whom our society has marginalized, and to widen the entryways to civil society for those who need it most, like that wonderful fellow we heard from, Justin Roslonik. I want to close by thanking all of our terrific honorees. I want to thank Google and David Drummond. I'd like to thank my good friend Mark Shelton and Melissa Mark Viverito. I want to thank our truly phenomenal benefit committee and Vera's superb development staff for making tonight possible. And through your generosity, as you've heard, including pledges in this room, we have raised well over $1.1 million, which is just kind of mind-boggling to me as a longtime chair. Thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. When I joined this organization, the idea that in one evening I could stand up and announce that we had raised that kind of money was just beyond belief. So thank you. Finally, I would now like to welcome, in order to close our evening together, a performance by John Baptiste. As those of you who are cool people know, John is the band leader on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. He's an extraordinary talent, and please join me in welcoming him. And then after the performances that you're about to hear, my understanding is that there will be dessert. And so we hope you'll stick around and join us for that. Thank you very much.